I stay doing the most. Chasing that money, I ain't been asleep in 3 days. Cause I need it. I ain't breathing. Yeah, we bumpin'. Say little bitch, we bumpin'. We bumpin'. That's the only West Indian thing about me. I know how to move my hips. Just a little. Yo, I need to stop. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Whitney, and today I'm coming at you guys with a little juicy story time. So today, as you've seen in the title, yes, it's the truth. No, I'm not capping. Pinky promise, swear to God, this is for real what happened. So I don't want to keep it super duper long because I don't want to drag it. I'm not trying to cap on here. All right, so boom, painting the picture, right? I was 12 years old. I was living back in New York with my family. I was, chilling with my family and everything like that. And we had a plan to go to church. So if you guys don't know, I was raised Adventist. And so we went to an Adventist church. Church was on Saturdays. We call that the Sabbath. We had Wednesday night prayer things. We also had Friday night things to bring in the Sabbath. So during this time that I was 12 years old, I was going through, how do I want to call this? I was kind of trying to figure out who I am in a sense, but also who I am outside of my father. So when I was 12 years old, I met my father for the first time, right? Well, I don't want to say for the first time because I don't have any memories. Let's just say that I don't have any memories of him up until I was 12 years old. So 12 years old, met him. He's in our lives. He's, trying to get acclimated to us and everything like that. He's trying to be I want to come back. I want to make up for all the years that I missed, yada, yada, whatever. So he's come back, we invite him to, well, obviously not me, but he comes to church with us Friday. So we're all it's me, my mother, my siblings, my aunts. We're all at this Friday night thing. I don't know. I don't remember specifically. I don't even remember if it was a Friday night. All I know is that we were having church. Okay. And I knew it wasn't the Sabbath. I knew it was either a Wednesday or a Friday, regardless. Painting the picture, right? So I'm just we go to church, and we go to church to worship, because what else are you there at church for, right? When I was 12 years old, I was very, I don't want to say timid, because I wasn't. Kinda I was, but when I knew somebody, I knew them very well. What I'm trying to say is that I was very small, very scrawny, and I was very I was very awkward. I wasn't looking like all these 12-year-olds around here, right? I was looking like an actual 12-year-old back in, how old was I? 2008 when I was 12? Yeah, damn, back in 2008, what 12-year-olds are supposed to look like. Here I am. I'm meeting somebody new for the first time, right? And so this person comes into our lives. Our family is trying to figure him out, because we're okay, but where you been? What's going on? And all the letters that I received, I'm you never got my birthday right. We were trying to get, accustomed to this new person, because now all of a sudden my mother was dating my father. And it was weird. It was I didn't know how to feel. I was happy, but then I was but I can't tell you I love you because I don't know how to feel about that yet. So here comes Friday night. We're just going to call it Friday night. And we're going to have two characters here. Both of them, let's hope, I pray to God that they're not the same people that they were back in the day, because, wow. But we can't really blame, I can. But looking back at it, I'm not the same person that I was when I was a teenager. So listen to this, right? We're gonna have to name these two characters, Rex and Tyler. Let's go with that. Rex and Tyler. So we got Rex and Tyler, right? keep in mind for these characters. So we walk into church, right? We walk in saying hi to everybody because I grew up in this church. You know, I know everybody in this church. We say hi. I see Rex. I say hi to Rex. Rex and my sister were cool because they were the same age, right? During this time, Rex and my sister are 16 years old. I'm 12. Me and my sister are 4 years apart. If you guys gonna do the math, there it is. So also who's there is, you know, there's different people that's going to be around, because I also think that we were practicing for something. Like there was people practicing for something the next day. Don't really remember what, but there was a lot of teenagers there as well, because, you know, their parents were involved in the church. We go to sit down, right? My aunts are ushering because there's something going on. I genuinely don't remember. I think the pastor was speaking, but there was also people there at the church as well who had stuff to do, because our church was fairly big. Our church is also a school. So our church, you know, there's a basketball court in there, or I don't want to call it a basketball court because there was a gym in there, right? There was a stage upstairs, there was a stage downstairs, or mid-ground, I should say, because there was an actual downstairs where basically the school was. And so there was 2 bathrooms, well, big bathrooms downstairs, and then on the mid ground you had where basically the church was. So now I'm painting the picture of the church. On the mid ground, when you first come into the church, that's where you walk into the middle. Our church had 3 floors. They were fairly big, and so when you walk in, you walk into the middle, because here you have, depending on where you come, if you come through the front, you have the front entrance where it's basically the school, or if you come through the back, you're basically walking immediately into the church. Because once you come through the back, if you come through the middle floor, if you come through the middle floor, then you're immediately, you know, in this little hall where you can walk into the sanctuary if you want to, but if not, painting the picture here, if not, you can go to the bathrooms. So let me say that again, right? If you enter through the back entrance of the church, you can go through the middle, or you can go through the bottom floor. Typically people go through the middle floor because that's just, you know, first contact middle floor. When you walk through the first doors, you're in this little area that is like kind of like a divider before you meet the sanctuary. At the end of the dividers in this hallway, you have the women's bathroom and you have the men's bathroom. If you don't want to go to the bathroom, here's another set of double doors where you can walk straight into the sanctuary. When you walk into the sanctuary, there's a bunch of pews. You can sit down, mind your business, listen to pastor, whatever. During this time, my family and I were on the middle ground. We were in the sanctuary. So we were sitting in the rows. My dad at the time liked to sit very close to the front. So we were fairly close to the front, right? Okay. Painting the picture for you guys. So after we walk into, you know, before the pastor starts preaching, after we walk into the building, say hi to everybody, we get our seats, we sit down, we get comfy, everybody gets, you know, where they're supposed to be, basically. And so the pastor starts doing his thing, people start singing, welcoming the, you know, the sermon that's going to be going on. Like it's supposed to be a short service because it's, you know, not the initial Saturday service. It's not the Sabbath service. It's something like prayer meeting or stuff like that, right? And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, I got to use the bathroom. And so probably an hour goes by where I have to use the restroom. And so I tell my parents, I'm like, okay, I gotta go pee. They're like, so I get up and I go pee. So when I walk through the double doors, keep in mind, right? I walk through the double doors. I'm going towards the back of the church, right? So if you go through the front of the church is kind of where the school is, but the closest bathrooms to me was going to the back of the church. I walked through the double doors and I was in the hall, and I came across Rex and his friend Tyler. So Rex and Tyler were 16 years old at this point. They were fairly tall, obviously, compared to me. And, you know, they knew me because I grew up with them in a sense, right? And so during this time, like, they're cutting up, whatever, they see me come through and then they start picking on me. Like, it's just normal thing. I'm just like, you know, shut up, Rex, like, whatever, mind your business. Like, I just need to go use the bathroom, don't bother me. Like, it's just typical things that they did at the time. Like, they always picked on somebody. So I was just like, whatever. And so, like, Rex said something about my forehead. And I was just kind of like, I was very quick with my mouth sometimes. Like, sometimes you could really, like, kind of, like, get me and I wouldn't say nothing. Like, you could really get me. And other times I would go back and forth with you. And this was a time that I was kind of going back and forth with him because I was just like, I just gotta pee, bro. So I basically come in contact with them. Like, I'm just minding my business trying to go to the women's bathroom, and Rex says something. He makes fun of me. He says something about my forehead, and I say something back to him. I don't remember what I said, but I know it was smart, right? Like, I was like, shut up, or like, that's why nobody likes you, or something like that. That's why you ain't got no game, or something like that, right? And so I keep walking towards the bathroom, and he's walking behind me, picking at me, because that's what teenage boys do. They want to get a rile out of girls, right? Like, and I don't know why he had to get a rile after a 12-year-old girl at the time, but he thought it was funny, I guess. So I guess he was just kind of gonna see how I reacted. And so I walk through the women's bathroom, right? But in this women's bathroom, we have, at our church, stay with me, we have a divider. So when you first walk through the women's doors, you can go downstairs to the toilets or upstairs to the changing room. So when you first walk through the women's doors, you're not walking into a whole bunch of women who, like, in a powder room or anything like that. No, you're walking to a whole bunch of stairs. So it's okay if men go through the women's bathroom, or the women's door, I should say, because they're not immediately going into the bathroom. They don't see anything, right? There's no way they can unless they walk downstairs. But, like, it's okay if they go through the women's door because they could be going upstairs to the changing room. So I walk in, he walks in behind me, and I start walking downstairs. And as I'm walking downstairs, Rex goes over the railing and says, boom, and says, shut up, right? And so I'm like, he just punched me. I'm not going to react. I looked at him. I was like, don't hit me. And I went back downstairs. Oh, well, not back downstairs. Then I went downstairs, and I was kind of like, damn, that kind of hurt. So I was, after the initial hit, I was kind of scared. Not going to lie to you. I was like, I don't want to go back upstairs because I know that they're going to bother me again. And, that low-key hurt. But, like, it didn't really bother me because I knew he could have hit harder, right? And so in my mind, I was like, oh, he's just trying to get on my nerves. He's just trying to be annoying. Good job, you're annoying. So I do whatever I need to do. I look at myself in the mirror, wash my hands, I'm done, whatever. I do whatever because I'm like, during that time, I believe I had a phone. Yeah, I had a phone, and I was just texting on my phone or whatever to my friends. Like, I was just minding my business because I couldn't text in the sanctuary. So I was just doing whatever that I wanted to do as a 12-year-old girl in the bathroom. Like, that's what I wanted to do. And so initially when he punched me, I was just kind of like, whatever that happened. It stung for a little bit, but I wasn't even thinking about it, right? But as I'm walking back up the stairs because I'm finished, I'm like, I hope they're still not there. I hope they're still not there, because I had a lot of anxiety walking up those stairs because I was just kind of like, they're gonna bother me, and what if I can't go into the sanctuary? What if they're praying during this time and I have to stay out there with them? Like, why don't they just leave me alone? Because they were really picking on me, right? One thing I think I should mention is that me and Rex and Tyler, in a sense, I know I kind of mentioned this a little bit, but in a sense, we all kind of grew up together. Like, my sister's friends all grew up together with me and my friends in the church, within the church. Like, we all knew each other. We were all like a little family, right? And so, like, it's not an excuse though. So when I start walking up the stairs, right, I go through the women's door and I walk back into the hall. Guess who are still there? Rex and Tyler. I'm trying to speed this up because this isn't supposed to be dragged out. So I go back up there, and here comes immediately Rex comes towards me, and he starts picking on me again. I'm like, yo, shut up, leave me alone. Like, I'm not even bothering you. Leave me alone. That's why you ugly. That's why you don't have a girlfriend. Like, I was really going in because he was going in on me as well. And at this point, I was just kind of like, why am I going to be quiet? Like, I wasn't talking to a stranger, and I wasn't nervous because I knew him. And I was just kind of like, yo, like, you just need to leave me alone. Like, I'm not even bothering you. And then he hit me again in my same arm, and he hit me again in my arm, and I was like, stop hitting me. And he tried to hit me again, and I pushed his arm out the way. But then he kind of got, a part of me feels like he felt some type of way that I keep on trying to say that I jonesed him, but I don't even know, like, if for real y'all would know what I'm talking about if I said that. But, like, anyways, so let me just make this make sense, right? Like, I think he felt some type of way that I kind of like dodged out of his hand, and I was defending myself, because what other reason do you have to be hitting a 12-year-old little girl? Anyways, so like, he was just like, oh, you think you bad, oh, you think you somebody, and he grabbed my arm, like he grabbed this arm and was like punching me with his arm, and with each, I mean, not with his arm, but you know what I mean, but like with each hit he was getting harder. Like, at first it was just not that big of a deal. In my mind, I'm just like, okay, leave me alone. And I was also, real shit, I was also terrified because I was like, what are they going to do? And I didn't think that they were going to do anything like, I was about to say ridiculous, but punching a girl is ridiculous. But I didn't think that they were going to like kill me or anything like that. But I was just scared because I'm like, this guy is legit hitting me. He has power over me and I can't get away. And so he was punching me, and the only thing I thought to do, instead of hitting him in the face because he was right there, I took my purse and I started swinging at him. So let me describe this purse to you guys, because you know, back in the day they had these kind of purses. Anyways, so this purse was kind of like, you know, the perfect U for the handle, and like it's like a rectangular purse. It's like the iconic 2000s purse, y'all. Like, listen, it was like a rectangular purse, or like a squoval purse, you know what I mean? Mad tiny squoval, and it had the perfect U shape. So I took it and I was bundling it up, and I was like hitting him right with the purse. I don't know why I didn't think to hit my hand. I guess I thought that it would be harder, but I guess, like, really and truly, I guess I was just scared, because I was like, why is he over here bothering me? Like, I was just going to use the bathroom. I didn't want to do anything with you guys. Like, you came after me and now you feeling some type of way. And the reason why I knew that he was feeling some type of way is because he kept hitting me over and over. Like, he wouldn't stop, right? And so he was hitting me and he was getting harder. And so as he's getting harder, I'm like, ow. And then I hit him harder. This time I hit him in the face, and then he hits me again. And then when I rear back to hit him again, all of a sudden I can't. And why can't I? Because my purse is being held by Tyler's bitch ass. Tyler grabs my purse and starts pulling at my purse. And so now I have my arm being held like this by Rex, and I have my purse being held over here by Tyler. I don't know why I didn't just let go of the purse, but I was trying to yank at it so that way I can continue hitting Rex. And Rex was punching me in this arm while Tyler was pulling me over here. So I'm being pulled like this, my arm getting exposed, and Rex is just going in. And like, I want you guys to imagine this as like a 20-second thing. It wasn't like, it sounds like it was going on for like a minute, and it wasn't. It was like literally going on. It felt like it was going on for a minute because it hurt, but it was going on for like 20 seconds, I want to say, because it wasn't super duper short, like, oh, he punched me twice and that was it. No, it was like a full-blown, like, I want to call it a tussle, because I can't, I was 12, I can't tussle with a 16-year-old dude, but like, it was, I feel like it was an ego thing. Like, I feel like he felt some type of way. So while I'm being held over here by Tyler and Rex is punching me, I was like, leave me alone. And then they somehow like let go, because I don't think I got free on my own, otherwise I've been would have gotten free. I let go, and then I go through the double doors super fast, right? And so while I go through the double doors, because I'm low-key crying and I didn't want them to see me crying, so while I go through the double doors, I wipe the one tear. Well, let me stop being with your eye. Okay, let me stop, because I don't like people seeing me cry. So I definitely was like, it was definitely going to be a lot more tears, but I wipe it away before anybody else could see it. But when I walked through the double doors, guess who was standing there by the double doors? My aunt. My aunt noticed that I wiped my face away, and then I went to go sit down by my parents, and then immediately when I sat down, my mom saw my face and she was like, what happened? Like, what's wrong? What's going on? What happened? And I was like, am I gonna snitch? Am I gonna snitch? And I kept saying nothing, like nothing. She was like, Whitney, something's obviously wrong. And then so when she asked me that, she took me outside, right? She took me towards the front entrance of the school, of the church, excuse me, where the school was. And so we were standing in the front entrance outside of sanctuary, and she was like, tell me what happened. And so I told her what happened. So we go to sit down, right? And immediately she tells my dad what happened. And so now we're just sitting through the sermon pissed, right? Like, my arm is low-key throbbing. I'm scared. I was shaking. I was calming down a little bit. And I was like, I'm about to get some real shit for this, because I told my parents and now they're not going to leave me alone. Here comes the end of the sermon. immediately my parents get up, right? Immediately my parents get up. They see Rex and Tyler standing in the back, and they walk straight towards them. They beeline. And so my mom comes up to Tyler like, did you hit my daughter? Did you hit my daughter? Yada, yada, yada. Like, are you just trying to cover up for Rex? Did you hit my daughter? And so my dad goes up there, and he was like, who put their hands on her? Who put their hands on her? What happened? What happened? And so I told them what happened, but I wasn't there necessarily for the conversation. I stood back because I was scared. I'm not gonna front on you guys, I was scared. And so I was told mainly what happened. I have the image in my head like of them standing in a circle, and so in that circle as well was Rex's, not parents, but his guardians, right? It was Rex's guardians, and Tyler's guardian was not there. So I don't even think Tyler's mom, I think she found out eventually. I really don't know, because Tyler wasn't necessarily the one that hit me. He didn't necessarily get in trouble for real. It was Rex that got the heat of everything. And so my mom was going off on Rex. My dad was going off on Rex. He was like, yo, if you put your hands on her again, you're gonna have to deal with me. And I remember him being like that. And so everyone basically wasn't minding their business. The whole church basically was like, oh, what's going on over here? Because people were huddled around these teenage boys, and they were like, what are you doing? My mom was pissed as hell. My brother was pissed as hell. Like, my dad, I don't know if he put them in their place, but after all of that happened, like, they taunted me, definitely, and I don't even think they for real cared. But guess what? They damn sure did not put their hands back on me at all. And I can't say it's because I was hitting them with the purse. I can't say that. Like, if I'm keeping it a buck with you, I can't say it's because I was doing anything. But I think it's because that they got in so much trouble by their parents, and that they basically got in trouble by the church, that they were not going to mess with me anymore. After that, they basically were doing taunts here and there. They're like, oh, I'm not messing with you because some people are going to go to their fathers and tell their fathers what I might do. And like, the thing about it that got me, I was like, what do you expect a 12-year-old girl to do if you fighting her and you 16 years old? Like, what? Excuse me? Like, that doesn't make no type of sense. Like, how are you going to sit there and try to like shade this girl when you're in the wrong? Like, how are you going to tell that story? Like, for real. Like, oh, if someone comes up to you like, oh, what she do, why you being like that, what you do? Like, or if they're just like, oh, why we shading her, what happened? He'd be like, oh, my man was just punching her and she went and told on us. It's like, nigga, what? It's like, she's a little girl though. Like, I'm confused. Like, you look wrong no matter how you try to turn it, because at the end of the day, all I wanted to do was go use the bathroom. All I wanted to do was mind my business. So this is the story where your girl got into a fight, into a tussle with two dudes, because for some reason your girl just always gets in some sort of shit. So if you guys like this story time and would love to hear more, don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you are new. Don't forget to hit the bell button, and also don't forget to hit up my email and leave a comment down below. What do you think about what happened? Do you think I was in the wrong? What do you think I should have done? Or have you been in this certain situation before? Leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to know more about it. Thank you guys for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.